everyone, this is Ashley Tucker from My Favorite Things. Today I have a card to share with you using a older stamp set, but this stamp set is so cute and I just have to show it some love every now and then. So this whale is from the Friends with Fins stamp set, which I believe is about 2 or 3 years old, but I did check on the website and it is currently available. So if you missed out on getting this while it was new, it is back in stock right now, so you have your chance to pick it up again. It's a really cute set. I didn't manage to get it myself when it first came out, so I picked it up later on, and I'm so glad I was able to get it because I think that the little whales and other sea creatures in it are really cute. It has a couple of whales, a couple of dolphins, a shark, and a narwhal, and then of course a bunch of sentiments. So I used my Misty tool to stamp the whale with a Copic friendly black ink onto some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and now I'm coloring it in with my Copic markers. And this was actually probably the first time I've ever used my Copic markers to color in one image, and I blended together 6 different colors to achieve the one color that I wanted. So I blended 6 different blues for this whale, but I did a lot of testing. You can see up above the whale where I was testing colors, and I just really liked the look of these 6 colors blended together. So I decided to go for it. Normally I do 3, maybe 4 max, but this one just called for 6 colors. I really like the way that the colors all turned out together. I think that having the 6 colors kind of gave it a really underwater feel because it almost looks like the whale is right underneath the surface of the water and the light is hitting the top. And you would get a lot of different variations in the blue color if it were right underneath the surface. Once the coloring was done, I cut the whale out and set it aside. And then I pulled out another set that is an older set, but this die set is not available anymore on the website, but I will recommend an alternative. So this die set is called Love Speech Bubbles and it's not available anymore. You can't get it. But I really wanted my whale to have a little speech bubble with a heart. Now I did find another set on the website that could work, and it is called Say Anything Dynamics, and that's just a bunch of speech bubbles, and then you could just stamp some hearts in the speech bubble. There's actually a stamp in the Friends with Fins stamp set that has some hearts that you could use and then just color them in. For my background, I pulled out a piece of navy cardstock, and I'm going to be stamping the little tiny fish that are from the same stamp set onto that with Versamark ink, and I'm going to be embossing them with clear embossing powder. And I just randomly stamped those across the entire panel, and then after I felt like there was a good amount of those, I went back in and I stamped even more of those little groups of fish, but this time I'm only going to use the Versamark ink and I'm not going to emboss them. This kind of creates a little bit of dimension, like those fish are just a little bit further away from you. By the way, this piece of navy cardstock is cut to 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. Once I finished stamping all of my fish, I wanted to give this a vignette look. So I took some dye ink in the color dark navy, and I'm using a blending brush to just blend in from around all of the sides of the cardstock. And I'm just very gently blending so that I get this vignette look. And I will darken it up by adding more, not by pressing down hard. For my sentiment, I picked out the stamp from the set which says, "Sending you an ocean of love." And I stamped that with VersaFine Onyx Black ink onto some white cardstock, and I cut it down into a strip. For the background of my card, I picked this really beautiful cornflower blue, and I taped that down onto a card base. And then I popped up my navy blue background onto that with some foam tape. Next, I grabbed my sentiment and I added some foam tape to the back of it, and I popped that up along the bottom of my card design, and then I popped up the whale right above the sentiment. For that little chat bubble that I cut out earlier with the pink heart, I put a piece of foam tape behind the chat bubble, and I'm just popping that heart in so that it's right on the sticky part of the foam tape so it sticks in place, and then I'll pop that up above the whale. The card is almost done at this point. I just want to add some small details. I first grabbed my glitter brush and I went over the little heart to make it sparkle. And then I grabbed a white gel pen and I added some highlights and some sparkles to the whale. To do those sparkles, I just added little dots in kind of clusters of 3. And I think that looks really good. It makes it look like the whale is underwater because you kind of get that sparkling look. The last thing that I did is I grabbed a Copic multiliner and I just darkened up the eye on the whale. It was looking a little bit dull after all the coloring, and I just wanted to deepen the black on it. And then this card is all done. Thank you so much for joining me today, showing some love for our older products. I hope that this video inspired you. Maybe you already have this and it inspired you to pull it out again and give it some more love. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I'll see you next time.